Greetings trainers, and welcome to our week 2 update for our new account. We've been running it exactly 2 weeks now. Not as much has happened as it did in the first week, just due to the fact that we're in higher levels now and it's more of a grind and it's going to get worse, so we're going to keep on pushing. But the first thing we come to is an event. It's a not a raid hour, it is a Spotlight Hour. Not really interested in the Pokemon in the Spotlight Hour, but it was double experience for evolutions. So we caught lots of Fletchlings on Community Day. I built up my candies, and now we're doing the evolutions and seeing how much we can get. I believe this batch of evolutions, I got somewhere around 176,000 experience just for doing this, and still had some time left over afterwards to continue to do some evolutions and catch whatever was in the area, and just use the lucky egg time that I had left after doing this. So the lucky egg with the double experience evolution, really able to grind it and push it forward. I've sped this up, saved some time, but this kind of slow and dull part of sitting here doing these evolutions is important. Tons of experience for it. Once I was done with this, I cleared these out. I didn't need them, they weren't strong, but the evolutions are worth 1,000 experience, 2,000 once it's doubled, and 4,000 when you double it again with an egg. So this was a great run. And right here I'm just looking for one more to select. I believe I was getting close to leveling up at this point. So I have no idea why I'm looking through these. They're all very weak, but sometimes I get picky for absolutely no reason. At the same point, I'm trying to evolve some Pokemon that are going to be fairly strong for me now, simply because I don't have hardly anything to battle with at this level. There's not a lot of good choices, so even something that's mediocre in the future right now is valuable to me. So I leveled this guy up, and he's actually been battling with me some for some of the Team Rocket battles and stuff, so it ended up being a useful evolution. Yes, that pushed us over the line. So there we are at level 28 doing all that, so that was great. And then a couple days later, due to me continuing on that grind, I was able to open one gift, upgrade a friendship level to good friends, which is only 3,000 experience, but when you can get up to 200 friends, that adds up. Those 3,000 experience is great. And we were able to push over the 28 and hit 29. So there we are. So we upgraded 2 levels in the week. All right, so this is my first tier 5 raid, which is hard to do at this level because 3 or 4 people can't take down a tier 5 if you're only at level 29. Obviously, it's a lot. But I went downtown during a raid hour, and fortunately there was many groups raiding, so I was able to participate. When you can get like this one with 15 people in it, you can get lower level players and still breeze through it. This was a very easy raid, an easy win for everybody involved. But a lot of people have had trouble catching these legendaries that you get from raids. They can be very difficult to catch. You can use a golden raspberry on them, you can hit excellent throws, and they can still run. You will run out of Pokeballs and they run. So I was trying to be as careful as I could to make sure to at least make contact when I throw. So I'm sitting here trying to time it. It's slow, it's a pain. I had to throw straight that time, couldn't even curveball it because he moving from side to side, and that does happen. So this was my first one, so fingers crossed that I was going to catch it, and I just kept on trying. Luckily I did have a lot of opportunities on this one. I had quite a bit of Pokeballs to work with. So, and finally there it is. So first tier 5 raid went well. Breezed through it with a big crowd of people playing. Was able to catch it, add it to the Pokedex. Got my first legendary tier 5 raid. So that was fantastic. Now I stayed downtown, tried to hit another one. I didn't have a whole lot of raid passes, obviously, because I haven't purchased any, so this is just what I've earned. Another one popped up nearby me that I was able to get right when it hatched. So I had already seen a crowd forming in the park. I assumed most of them were playing. It starts off with 5 already, even when I first turn it on, so this was another good one. I got this one on here, even though normally I wouldn't share my second tier 5 raid because it doesn't mean much, but this one was a trickier raid, and I wanted to share it to illustrate a point of some of the issues you could have in the game. I actually don't know what I was doing here. I was messing around, but I don't have any strong enough Pokemon to really fight this thing by myself, or even with 4 or 5 people. But there ended up being, I want to say 18 people in this one once it was all said and done. So again, another easy raid, and I'm just lucky that there was that many people out there because I am not leveled up enough. My Geodude is not doing a whole lot of damage in this raid. Fast forwarding it, trying to save some time, but what had happened was about the middle of it, right about here, it glitched out and kicked me out of the game. So sometimes when you're raiding with people and they leave, people get frustrated that they left before the battle was over. But this can happen. I had to reboot it, load the game back up, and I'm hoping that I can get back in and help, even though I personally wasn't doing much help. But if you're level 40, 41, 42, and you're battling it, and you're a very important player in this raid, and you're booted out, it's frustrating. But I go back into the gym, and it's over. So we did win. It let me jump back in, even though I didn't get to participate as much as I'd like. I still get the win because I was part of the group that started the battle. So that does happen. The game glitches. So I was able to go for another catch, which is great. This was going to be my last one for the day because I didn't have any more raid passes, but this one gave me even more trouble than the first one did. He kept jumping out. He kept moving. I couldn't seem to make very many decent throws. I was sometimes hitting great throws and sometimes hitting nothing, but he posed a ton of problems for me. I got down to, I believe, a few throws left before he was going to run, and I kind of assumed that was going to happen, which wouldn't have been too bad because I already had one. But obviously now that I'm here, I want to get a second one, even though I'm really just here for the experience, and it's nice to catch a legendary while you're at it, and get a lot of good items. But right here I was down to just that couple throws and hit the excellent throw with the golden after doing that a few times in this, and he finally stayed in the ball and I was able to end it. So that was great. Even with the glitch, I still got a Pokemon, and luckily this one turned out to be really, really good. Once I got a chance to appraise it later, I was happy to see that I ended up with a strong 3-star legendary. So I look forward to buffing him up and maybe using him in some battles early on. Was able to add a few new shinies to the collection this week that were not community day shinies, so that was nice. Here's one of them right here. And then during an event, I dropped an incense and got one of these bronzers, so that was great, and was able to get me a Ponyta as well. So all in all, it was a good week. A few new shinies to the collection. Here's where we stand right now at level 29, and it's going to be a grind now moving forward. The experience, it takes a lot to level up, but we're going to keep on pushing it, see what we can turn this into. If you'd like to follow along, hit that subscribe button. If you hit that like button, it really helps more people get to see our videos. Really appreciate that. And I'm always looking for comments of how to make the channel better or other content, with the exception of the updates that you'd like to see. Other than that, that's going to end it. Thanks for watching.